is going to be one of the more important videos I think I've ever made, because what I have done is I have taken this manager, she might be a former manager at this point, her video, which is over 6 minutes in length, and I have broken it apart. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the parallels between what she saw as a manager in corporate and how it directly reflects and mirrors what your teachers are seeing in the classroom. It is wild. So she's talking about this article that came out, right, where why Gen Z is unprepared for the workplace. And one of the reasons is because they lack initiative. So she spends her whole video talking about that. And she does this by a pretend scenario with an employee, but then she outlines the reasons why these Gen Zers are getting fired. Not all. Okay, the first segment, she talks about how they will not take initiative and how she no longer will be a manager. Listen to the first part.
You're getting fired left or right is because they don't take initiative. And the response is, well, you don't pay me extra to take initiative. That's not what initiative means. I.e., here's the problem. Hey, Emma, here's a task that I would like to be completed by the end of the day. Here you go. You went through the interview process. You've worked here.
One of the problems is the kids don't take initiative. Kids say, you don't pay me enough to take initiative. They obviously don't know what initiative means. Or they've been taught that they don't need to because they're just going to be pushed along anyway. Second segment.
About to end for the day. No, I couldn't finish it because I didn't know how to do it. What do you mean, Emma? When we say initiative, it means, did you call somebody to ask them? Did you come to me? Did you Google? You just sat here all day and didn't do it because you didn't know how to do it? But this is the worst part.
This parallels the classroom. That person sat there because they didn't know what to do. It is so similar in the classroom. Kids will just sit there if they don't know what to do. They won't ask the teacher. They won't ask anyone around them. They will just sit there. Third segment.
Then you add on the fact that they call out sick all the damn time. So we got a combination of you don't take the initiative to do the job. You can't retain the information on how to do the job. You get very emotional when any type of discomfort presents itself, and you call out sick all the time. You're fired. And then they get fired and be like,
okay, so they're in corporate and they're out sick all the time. They're in school and a lot of them are out sick a lot. Month vacations, mental health days because the parents allow it under the guise of mental health. Initiative we've already talked. Can't retain information. Their faces are embedded in iPhones and iPads all the time, which we're seeing the effects of this. And they get over emotional when they are corrected or told what to do. Your teachers are seeing this in the classroom all the time. And the parents come to bat for their kids all the time. Let me clarify, not all parents, not all kids. Segment 4.
What do you mean? No one ever taught me. You should have shown me. And I can't help it if I get sick. There is a difference between we're trying to go against the system to create something new that not only the employer and the employee will benefit versus you just don't want to be told what to do. You just don't want to come to work. You just get mad and upset and angry anytime you don't get a gold star.
In the classroom, many students just don't want to work because they know they don't have to, because they're going to get pushed along, or some of their parents are going to come to their defense. And these employees get angry because they don't get a star, a gold star, not literally, figuratively. Sounds very similar to when kids are getting upset because they're not getting a trophy because they've been taught that everybody gets a trophy. Are you guys catching on to this? Last segment.
So where they can't. So they're simply just, I want to get paid to come here. What? Whether I do the job or not, I want to get paid because I'm here. There are going to be more and more articles like that. More and more. I think a lot of parents have done a serious disservice to their children by hovering over them and doing everything for them. Because now they just can't handle it.
Also, I want to get paid just by being here. I want to get a grade just because I'm sitting here. Social promotion, NCLB. And the last part she ends with, she says, I believe, and I'm paraphrasing here, that some of these parents have done their kids such a disservice by hovering over them. Teachers have been screaming this for the last, I don't know how many years. And here we have it. We have a generation of kids, not all, but some of them, who cannot function out in the real world. Your teachers are screaming about all these things that this woman talked about. I talk about this on my page. And there you have it. This woman doesn't want to be a manager anymore. It parallels to so many teachers who don't want to be teachers anymore because it's like shovel and poop against the tide. And the only ones who, not all, but some of the only ones who are really doing all the hard work are the teachers and the people, the managers, these people who are hiring some of these kids.
One more for the road. So we got to talk about. I seen More to Life do a video. Shout out to bro about Gen Zers not wanting to work, and I'm gonna try to find some of the clips he uses some more. And I'm gonna keep it short, simple, and sweet. One of the ladies was talking about she's seeing a direct correlation from the classroom into the workforce with the kids, and the kids are just looking at their phones, or the kid or the guy, not the kid, or the workers are looking at their phones. They late. They don't understand the point system. I'm only 3 minutes late, and you lucky I'm here. The attitude, and I was even talking to a dude at the gym. He was like, it was a new thing where the parents are going on a job interviews with the kids, and they've been too hands-on with the parenting. And the one thing that, and hit the link in the description, join the Patreon. A lot of things we got in trouble for millennials and whoever's before us was the Gen Xers. Our parents used to leave us at home by ourselves early, and we had to have responsibility early. I mean, a lot of us was using the stove at 7, 8 years old, or using a microwave early. This is when microwaves, you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of us were staying at home by ourselves at 8, 6, 9, 10 years old, man. And don't you open the door for nobody. We had a lot of responsibility, and we had the fear of God of violating those responsibilities because our parents, and those responsibilities, maybe you were the older kid or you was by yourself and you had to wash and fold and cook and help your mother out because she had to work this many jobs. Ultimately, nobody talks about the benefit of that. And a lot of that has, especially millennials and Gen Xers, that's, some of these guys know how to crochet. I know how to crochet. Don't laugh, but I do. My grandma made me crochet because I was just too hyper. Some of the dudes know how to knit. They know how to make shit from scratch. They so domesticated, bro. Very domesticated. And it's like, now these kids are hampered. Like, they can't barely all they can make is a couple noodles, right? They can't even make noodles on the stove. They put the noodles in the microwave, and they've saying that these kids are getting into the workforce. They're not punctual. They don't care about the job. And one thing I had to learn when I was younger, I'm like, man, fuck this job, whatever. One thing it's a representation of your character. It's a representation. When I do my job, and I hate going to work. You might have some people, but guess what? When people look at my area, they can be like, damn. They might not give me credit, but damn, that motherfucker, bad motherfucker. Like, that says a lot about when they walk into your crib and see your crib is clean. That's one thing about when women go over guys' houses. Probably one of the reasons women don't like going over guys' houses, because a lot of guys' houses be nasty. Or some, I ain't gonna say a lot. But when women walk into, my crib, or people come to my crib, it's clean. It's usually clean. I got a dog. It's clean. Smell good. Clean it every week. Clean it when I need, But it's a reflection of you. Your spaces are a reflection of you. Your hygiene is a reflection of you. How clean you look is a reflection of you. How articulate you are is a reflection of you. So you have to remember that, but you're hearing people talking about, well, there's no point to work. You need 2 or 3 jobs. You need 2 incomes. I'm not going to work. I did a video that y'all probably already see where the girl was saying, I can handle 40 hours a week. So I quit. I started washing my ass, and I couldn't maintain like what, 40 hours? I thought she was going to say 70 hours or 60 hours, So they handicapped their kids. There was another video I did where the lady was like, she don't believe in perfect attendance awards. Remember that? She said she don't believe in perfect attendance awards. Oh, kids deserve mental health day. Women are passing down a lot of female genes to the generation. The father is the one that showed their sons and their daughter, no matter if your back hurting, your ass hurting, you coughing and sick, you still go feed your family. And most men and young women don't get to see that no more. They think if they throat itching, they think if they ass scratch itching, oh, I can't go to work. No, you got to work through the pain. Nobody gonna pay these bills but you. And you ask yourself, like, damn, these kids talking about they don't want to work, and these young guys, oh, how are they surviving? Still living with their mother and their father. What happened to something happened to your mother and father? What you gonna do then? You know, you ask simple questions like that. What you gonna do then? So, yeah, it's a whole, you know, in the classroom, you know, the parents come in and they defending the kid. And where are you taking my kid from? Your phone? Your kid shouldn't have a phone in the school. My mom ain't believe shit I said. She believed the teacher. And if it was proven otherwise, then cool. She need to investigate. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, bro. We live in a very unfortunate time. We live in a very unfortunate time. Unfortunately, we really do. We really do, man. We really do, man. These parents have been too hands-on. They've been too soft. You know, they kid, you know, when I was a kid, I didn't get a chance to do this and that and third and be a hoe or be the fucking hoodlum. And they let their kids, you know, have too much autonomy, but never really have no responsibility. So now you seeing older people having to work at Taco Bell, having to work at Walmart, and it's always a balance. So now the baby boomers are coming into, or the baby boomers still in the workforce. The Gen Xers, the older ones still in the workforce. Because guess what? They probably bored and the kids don't want to work today. They don't want to work. What's the point of working and you work? And they think they should have this celebrity lifestyle. They think they should have this great lifestyle. You got to put in work for that. In the 90s, you can do this. At the end of the day, how you going to feed yourself? You going to split your Virginia open on OnlyFans and destroy your reputation? That money ain't going to last. So you got to ask yourself that, man, like, where we at in society? Reflectively, where we at in society? Where we at? You know, where we at? Where we at? It's a great question. Because especially when you see young men that don't want to work, that's crazy. You know, you depressed because you ain't working towards nothing. Most men are depressed because they're not working towards nothing. Get to work. Get to pushing up. Get to drawing your business plan out. Get to moving something. Get to doing something. Most women too. When you stagnant and you ain't where you supposed to be, even if you stagnant and you where you supposed to be and you ambitious, you want more. You want more and more and more. You know? It ain't never enough when you start tasting success. The Rolls Royce, I want the Ferrari. The Ferrari, I want this specific Audi. Oh, I want this Mercedes Maybach. Oh, this house is this big. I ain't saying that's particular, but goals are meant to be smashed and new ones are meant to be created. And just have no ambition, no responsibility. And it's the parents' fault. Can't hold your hands. You can't hold your kid's hand. Can't hold that hand, man. Can't hold them. And now they don't want to work. You know, you should get out there and make them cut the grass, make them do, they don't do nothing. You see the mother shoveling snow now and the kid and the son in the house watching her. You know, respectfully, but, you know, it's crazy out here. You know, this generation it's no point of work. Okay, how you going to survive? Like, how you going to survive? There's no point of work, man, you know. And one of the hardest things to do is work and build your own shit. But if you can work and build your own business while working, you're a cold motherfucker. You can do anything damn near. So hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. I appreciate the love and support. Follow me on X, Facebook, Kick. Well, no. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. It's the only way you can follow me. I appreciate y'all. Thumbs up the video. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Peace.
You've ever found yourself saying, oh, Gen Z just doesn't want to work, or millennials just don't want to work? Here's why in less than 60 seconds. Off until very recently, boomers absolutely refused to quit. Until last December 2022, 1/4 of our workplace were boomers. This resulted in a severe displacement of millennial and Gen Z employees. Companies didn't have the budget to give them the raises that they requested. They found that boomers were favored when it came to applying to work from home compared to millennials and Gen Z. Second up is inflation. If you could go back in time and get $100 from someone in 1967 and make it follow the laws of inflation, that $100 would now be worth $1,021. That's insane inflation. Yet when looking at pay scales for Gen Z and millennials, our pay does not track with inflation. Number 3 is that Gen Z simply likes to work from home. Yet when being considered for work from home exceptions at companies that are trying to pull their employees in, we are considered less and less. This leads to an increased time commuting, more time spent in the car, which means more gas, and overall car depreciation very quickly. Their average commute these days is 2 hours long. So the next time you find yourself saying that millennials and Gen Z don't want to work, maybe reconsider the words that are coming out of your mouth and think to yourself, I wonder why. Clearly someone from Gen Z.
I think everyone thinks that Gen Z doesn't want to work because Gen Z sees the issues with our economy, okay? Gen Z sees the issues with our society as a whole and how a lot of us are doing meaningless work, okay? It may make the world go round, but what are we upholding? A bunch of people who are in the e-files? Like, we're upholding people who are abusing children. We're upholding a system that does not care about its citizens, that gives us fake food. We're upholding a system that wants us to be sick. We're upholding a system that will charge thousands of dollars for insulin, like, and regular medicines that don't even cost that much to make. We're upholding a system of greed. This is why Gen Z doesn't want to work, because what are we really working for? I think it's time that we stop looking at Gen Z like, oh my God, why are they lazy? Why don't they want to work? No, we're questioning the status quo. What generation is going to do it? The boomers didn't do it because they had it good. Gen X didn't do it. Okay? Millennials are lost in the sauce. Y'all not doing it. Y'all not going to question anything. Y'all just trying to survive too. So if we as a people are not going to question the status quo, then why are we working to just, y'all can't even pay y'all rent. Like, come on, y'all complaining about y'all rent, y'all car notes, y'all can't even live life. Y'all can't even take days off work. Like, come on, what is it really? Y'all acting like this America that we're working in is so amazing for the middle class person. It's not. Things are changing right before our eyes, but you want to be mad at Gen Z for not wanting to go to work, for not wanting to uphold these systems that are abusing us. Okay.